This is Abnormal Entertainment.
Welcome, everybody, to Cinema Head Cheese, the podcast. This is Kevin Moyers, and I have a little bit of a treat for you today. Back in 2013, Cam Harston and I started an interview show called Just Asking, and it was intended to be a monthly show. And, we had a few interviews. I don't know how many episodes we did, maybe 15, something like that. And I have aired some of those over at Raise Your Spirits, but this one seemed to fit Cinema Head Cheese a lot more. On October 1st of 2013, I talked to Greg Sestero. If you don't know Greg, then you should really watch a movie called The Room. That is this cult masterpiece, accidental cult masterpiece, I guess you could say, starring and written and directed by a guy named Tommy Wiseau. It's bizarre, and Greg plays his best friend in the movie, and he is friends with Tommy. They've toured around together back in 2010, I think it was. They did this tour with the movie. It was Greg and Tommy, and they did Q&As and photo ops with people, and we got to interview both of them individually for Cinema Head Cheese, and you can find that actually on YouTube. I did the interviews, and Jeff Dolniak filmed them, and they're not the best quality video-wise, but different equipment, and even in 6 years' time, everything's so different now. I mean, my phone takes much better video than what we had available to us at that point. So it's pretty crazy, but they're fun interviews. The Tommy one's a little weird because he's a strange dude, but Greg was great and a lot of fun to talk to then. And so a couple years later, when he had his book, The Disaster Artist, coming out, I contacted him and gave him a call and got to talk to him for a while for Just Asking. And with The Disaster Artist being turned into a movie, I thought this would be a great time to rehash this interview, get to hear from Greg a little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to get in contact with him to talk to him again, but we had a fun time in this talk. And he talked a lot about the book. The Disaster Artist comes out soon. I know the trailers just dropped with James and Dave Franco as Tommy and Greg, respectively. And there are a lot of other great comedy favorites in the movie. So it looks like it's a lot of fun. James Franco does a pretty good Tommy Wiseau. And Greg's just a regular dude, so I don't know if there's much of an impression for Dave Franco to do, but I like him a lot as well. I even like Dave Franco in that weird last season, I should say, of Scrubs, Med School. So, what are you going to do? But honestly, for these guys to take that book and turn it into a movie is fantastic for Greg. He's such a nice guy, and I'm really happy for him, and I'm excited to see the movie. So I'll just shut up now. Before we go into the interview, I'll remind you, head to cinemaheadcheese.com for more reviews and news. Head to abnormalentertainment.com for more podcasts. And don't forget to click through the Movie Pass banner, where for $10 a month, you can go see one movie a day. $10 a month, that's the cost of one ticket for a movie a day, all month long. You can see 30 movies for $10. That's a great deal. Even if you go once a week, it's a great deal. And you can go see The Disaster Artist with your Movie Pass card. Go to any theater that's on the list, and there are tons of them. Major theaters, mom and pop theaters. It's really great, and I've signed up for mine, and I'm waiting for it. Can't wait. But that click-through gets us a little kickback, pays for what we're doing here, gives you all this free content, and we always appreciate that. So I'll shut up now and let you enjoy my conversation with Greg Sestero.
People really liked that interview that we did, so that was cool.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad. Yeah, it was fun, and you know, I know I was being a little bit silly at the time, but I know somebody thought I was being a little condescending with Tommy, but I was just kind of trying to goof around at his level. Hopefully.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of the only way to be.
Yeah.
When it comes to him, so that's totally understood.
So, are you out touring around right now?
No, I'm just getting ready for the book thing. I got a ton of crap stuff I'm doing, and it's been it's just been really crazy. I mean, it's crazier than writing the book is doing the promo for it. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. I know all the work you put into it. Now you have to run around like I was done.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, how much time do you think you have?
What do you need? I mean, whatever you feel like.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can go if we get at least a good 20 minutes. That'd be great. If we go longer, that's cool. If you feel like talking longer, that's fine too. No.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, sure.
No time limits over here, thanks to the internet. So that's a nice thing.
And thanks also, by the way. Really appreciate you posting that stuff and promoting. That's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, no problem, man. We like what you're doing, and I'm actually very excited to read the book. I'm curious myself as to all the things that have gone on over the past couple of years. I mean, past 10 years, really. Yeah. So.
What'd you think of the trailer? Did you like it?
I liked it. I thought it was very cool. It shows you guys and your friendship and all of that, and just how crazy things have gotten, and I posted that up on our Facebook today too. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Hopefully we get some eyeballs on that for you. But I liked it. I think it was really well done. So I'm sure people.
Yeah, I worked on it for a while because I wanted it to not just be a room thing, but I wanted it to be something that could be intriguing. Yeah. To anybody who just kind of watched that and was like, oh, what's that about?
Yeah. Well, going the friendship angle, and I mean, you and Tommy have known each other over 10 years now, so.
I know, my God.
Yeah. Does that seem like a long time to you?
Yeah, it's too long. Oh my God.
Well,
yeah, it's hard to believe I've survived it.
Well, you guys met in an acting class, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, I think when you're at that age, you're kind of more open to experiencing different things. So, give open to experiences you wouldn't normally be open to. So.
Right.
I think I met Tommy at the perfect age I could have been to be open to different types of characters, because I was always interested and fascinated by characters, and he was the home run.
Yeah, he definitely is. I think he was fun to talk to, and it's you're around my age, I think. How old are you?
35.
35. Okay, I'm 37. So yeah, I mean, I could see that. 25. You're open to just about anything at that point, and you were trying to get going acting and everything.
So yeah, I met him when I was 20.
Oh, it's been that long. Wow.
Yeah, I met him when I was 20, and I just kind of was, I guess I gravitated towards people that were characters that were passionate, a little crazy, and there was a real kind of kind side to him.
Yeah.
and underneath that kind of vampire deal, and yeah, obviously as you get to know him, you can kind of see that there is definitely some mysterious, strange things underneath, but
yeah,
all in all, I think it took me on a crazy, cool experience that I can't really say that I regret. I think in a lot of ways, I'm grateful for all the people it's introduced me to and the experiences I've been able to have from it.
Yeah, well, it's funny because when we met, it was about 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, it was October. No, I think it was what was it, August of 2010?
Something like that. I
yeah,
know.
September 2010, something like right around there.
Yeah.
And I had just kind of started touring, and it had been around for like a year, and yeah, I didn't know exactly what to think of it, and I knew I was planning on writing the book then, and I didn't know exactly where it was going to go. And when I started writing it, I realized how much was there, and then just how much of a story there was to tell. And my goal was, there was a lot to it. It's a movie that's inspired out of someone's interpretation of life and friendship, and I think the root of it is really what makes it interesting. And I think it was the story that initially Tommy meant to tell and ended up with something totally different.
Yeah.
But I felt like that's the story I wanted to tell, and the root of that came from meeting him in acting class. And so I felt like with the book, it's told in two different stories and alternating chapters between the making of the movie and my friendship with Tommy and how they intersect. So writing the book became a much more challenging feat than I initially started out with, and I pretty much took over my life since the last time I saw you.
Yeah. Well, and I know you were talking about it. You did talk to me about it a little bit, that you were kind of planning on writing the book, and I mean the cover looks great. I'm again very interested in reading it. The cool thing I thought about when you and Tommy were here, and you guys were out here in Tempe, right by ASU, and it's funny, he was just completely eating up the crowd attention, and I could tell he was having a blast meeting everybody and taking pictures and everything like that. And it's funny, like, you seem to hang back a little bit and follow his lead, but I mean, he was the maestro.
Yeah, definitely. I think that he's kind of there and really enjoys the attention and the fame, and at the end of the day, it really kind of is, it's his project. And I think for me, I was always interested in taking in the cultural aspect of it, to watch the way people respond, and because I've never really taken the movie seriously. It's something that I did when I was 24 and didn't really expect anything from, and so it's all kind of a big joke.
Right.
It's been a good time to me, and so when I looked at it, I kind of just get a kick out of it. And when I was, like when the seeds were planted to write the book, I immediately turned into kind of more of an observer mode and would take in the interaction and what, Tommy is the character.
Yeah.
So it's definitely true that that's much more kind of reserved in that sense.
You're almost a documentarian at that point.
Yeah, I already started to go into to writer mode at that point. So.
Well, it's funny because when you say not taking it seriously, I think you told me a story about your brother, you and your brother watching it. Yeah,
it was kind of this inside joke before the movie, like months before the movie ever even came out. We'd sit down and watch the dailies and just laugh our heads off and be like, picture if anybody were to ever see this thing, what would they think? You have a packed house and you just stick this thing on, and what would people say? And so we just had this kind of running joke, and so when that started to happen, it was almost like, oh my God, it's like what we were thinking came true, that this thing was actually got seen and people had the same response to it that we did. So that, again, it's been fun for me in that sense, because which was a joke, from the beginning for me. It's like I just figured, obviously when you read the book, you'll kind of know how I got involved in it, but it just was kind of a decision you make. Oh yeah, I'll do it. Nobody will see it. It'll it'll tie me over to the next gig or whatever, and then here we are. It ended up being the life raft, the never-ending life raft.
Well, it's funny because maybe, I want to say it was 2 months before you guys came out here, Juliet, Danielle, and Philip Haldeman were out here, and they were Lisa and Denny in the room.
Yeah, that's right.
And they kind of were laughing it off. They did a Q&A before the movie, and they were kind of laughing at it and like, whatever, and kind of joking about different scenes. And this is the first time I was seeing it, so I wasn't getting the joke, but I kind of kept these things in my head that they were saying, and as I watched it, I was like, oh, that's what they were talking about. And they were kind of making a goof out of it too, but they have not taken, the ride like you have as far as this, touring all over the place. And you've gone around the world with this thing, right?
Yeah. I went to London and Liverpool and, everywhere.
So,
Paris even. So,
wow.
Yeah, I can't really complain. And you meet people and they're really gracious and happy to meet you. And
right.
There's, I guess, when you look at it that way, there's nothing really wrong with it. If I put everything I had on the line out there and people are like laughing this thing off the screen, maybe I would feel, embarrassed, but I think it's just, how can you not look at it and laugh? You just gotta have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And it's funny, the whole cult movement around it too. And, whether it's, I don't know when it started, but I heard about it, and then a month later I was seeing it. So it came out in, well, I'm looking at IMDb here, 2003. Is that about right?
Yeah, it came out in June 2003.
Okay. And then how long was it before this cult thing started?
It started in 2009. There was an article written in Entertainment Weekly that kind of really showed it for what it was and the underground following it had. And then it just kind of blew up after that. It started showing in New York, and then, theaters came calling, Atlanta, started showing everywhere, and it just kind of just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then in 2010, I think just shortly before I saw you, it sold out the Ziegfeld Theater in New York. So
wow.
It really caught fire, yeah. And then I started writing right around that time. I started really getting into it, writing the book towards mid 2011.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, while I was writing the book, Tommy invited me to go on tour, so I've been touring with him while I was writing it. So it's just been such a long, crazy journey of completing this book.
Yeah. And
now it's, a week away from being released. It's kind of hard to believe.
That's great. Yeah. Well, as people hear this, it'll be on the day it's released, October 1st. So, yeah, click. I'll post the link up. Click the link through to Amazon and get the book, because that's what I'm going to do. I do want to find out all the stuff that happened and how you guys have gone through the tour. Are you guys done touring with it for a while?
I primarily was, when I was working on the book, was touring, but at this point, I'm probably going to, I got some other things I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be doing a movie with the creators of 5 Second Films. They're going to make a feature, and I'm going to work on that. So I'm going to have some other things going on. I'm sure Tommy will probably definitely keep touring.
Yeah.
Because he's great at that and he loves it. So.
Oh yeah, he knows how to work the crowd. Really well.
He's really, he's a great showman for sure. That's one thing.
Yeah.
One thing I definitely.
Well, is it? Have you kind of learned from him how to deal with the crowd? Or are you still kind of that hang back guy?
I definitely have a dramatically different style. Tommy is kind of like the cultic animal, you know, the circus animal who just will do anything for the crowd. I'm a little bit more a little bit more discussion-y, you know, like let's have a Q&A and let's talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely a lot, you know, definitely a lot of fun. I make it fun in a different way.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
if I put on a black wig and sunglasses, I'm sure I could bring some of that alive. But I think it'd be fun to to actually have a Q&A and really talk about things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even physically, just the two of you standing there, I noticed different things. I mean, you were even dressed basic, simple, clean cut. And Tommy had the leather jacket. He's got 2 belts around his waist, not through the belt loops, just kind of hanging there. He's got he looks like he wants to be rock and roll. And you're just like, I'm just here to have some fun.
Someone said that we're like two opposite ends of the human spectrum. When we were in London, they're like, I thought that was very, very well put.
Yeah. So. Yeah, he's the morning zoo, you're NPR. That's it. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, in the book, I refer to us as we look more like Marvel Comics nemesis, you know, the people who are friends.
I could see it, Bruce Wayne and the Joker, or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So, how close are you as friends, would you say? Because I know you play that up in the trailer for the book, but are you like the kind of guys that just you can go out and have dinner and hang out, have a cup of coffee or something, or is it because your personalities are so different? Is it just more work relationship?
You know what? I think Tommy is he has his fun qualities. Yeah, I think he's kind of the cousin, the estranged cousin you love to see for holidays, and really enjoy his crazy charm, in small doses.
Yeah.
But I think when things get so busy and stuff, it's hard to create much of a social, interaction. But yeah, I think he's definitely kind of that cousin that we all have.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think my brother might be that cousin.
You set a timer on, and then you're like, okay, time's up.
Yeah. So as you kind of get things going are you touring around for the book?
Yeah, I'm starting up the book launch in LA next Tuesday. Then I have the New York book launch October 3rd at Powerhouse Arena. Then from there, I'm doing Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, San Jose, Boston. I'm going to be doing some of the New York Comedy Film Festival or New York Comedy Festival.
Very cool.
Philadelphia. Yeah, I'm going to be going all over.
Oh, that's good. That's nice. You just you slow down from one thing and then just start going with another.
I think what will be fun about this is it'll be something new and it'll be new stories to talk about. And just, it will be fresh, I think. And I'm going to be showing a really cool 30-minute behind-the-scenes documentary with interviews with all the actors. So it'll give people a new experience.
Yeah. Are you going to be comfortable sort of being the center of attention now?
I think so. Yeah. I think if talking about stuff, talking about yourself, talking about experiences and having conversations, I think will be great. I think it's when you have to kind of go over the top theatrical that's not necessarily has been my arena. So
yeah,
and I think that's the gear that Tommy always kind of works at. So it makes me kind of feel like, do I really want to be here? But it was always fun. It was definitely really entertaining and fun observing it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, have you had? The room does bring out some interesting fans, people that show up with footballs and throw silverware at the screen. That was interesting. In fact, I think the theater that you guys were at down here, provided silverware to throw at the screen. So there was.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah. I remember boxes of it at the back of the theater. Do you have any kind of a crazy story with some kind of a crazy interaction with a fan that you can share?
Crazy interaction with a fan. I think, usually with fan, in London, there was a guy who came up to me and he's like, hey, I'm going to propose to my girlfriend on stage. And he was just, I couldn't tell if he was just totally hammered or just really nervous. And so he comes up on stage and does the whole proposal thing, and the girl's looking at him like, what the heck does he have planned? So he gets down to propose in front of everybody, and he passes out drunk. And I just thought to myself, man, if they're going to use the room to propose at, what a fitting proposal.
So did he even get it out?
No, and then I think the girl kind of looked like, oh, God, I won't want to be married to this guy anyway.
Yeah, this is my life. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, I think she was looking at the Tommy thinking maybe he's a better option.
She can borrow a belt if she needs one. Yeah.
And he definitely got his promotion this time around.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's so funny. I can't imagine. Well, I mean, what if she just said no or anything? You know, those grand proposals are always a disaster, it seems, unless you are really, really sure. That seems like a desperate move to get the girl to say yes so that she doesn't embarrass herself or you, you know.
Exactly.
Could have had Tommy perform the ceremony right then and there.
I know, it would have been perfect. That wedding would have gone far.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Well, what else are you working on after you get the book tour done?
So yeah, I'm gonna be doing the book tour simultaneously. I'm gonna be doing that movie. From the guy who created the 5-second film. It's gonna have Patton Oswalt in it, Peter Stormare. So that's gonna be fun. And then it's about, just going in a new direction, doing projects that I'm excited to work on and, get a chance to make some new and interesting movies.
Well, what's a dream project for you?
Dream project? You know what? I'd love to do, something smart and edgy. I think, there's some really great TV shows out there like Mad Men and Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what else I saw recently that I really loved. I don't know. I mean, stuff like David Fincher-esque type movies.
Yeah. Would you prefer movies or TV?
I'd say movies, but I think if the project's stimulating and interesting, then that's kind of the direction I'm going. I think with definitely the angle I took with telling the story of a disaster artist is, an elevated level of storytelling, and I'd love to continue to go in that direction with film.
So Patton Oswalt, have you guys started working on that project yet?
The movie starts shooting in like mid-November, so
okay.
It's going to come out next spring. And, it's going to be great. I'm not sure if you're familiar too much with 5-second films, but they're really, really clever, and they tell stories in 5 seconds, and they've, been making a movie every day for like 5 years. And
yeah.
So this is going to be their first full-length feature, and we did a table read and read the script, and it's really fun and clever, and it's kind of a throwback to like an 80s slasher film, and it's fun, and I think people are going to really get a kick out of it. So
did Patton kind of geek out on you a little bit, because he's talked heavily about The Room, and I mean in his and so on.
I met him. I did a 5-second film with him a few years back, and he was really cool. And he's just been awesome. He's supported the book. He gave me a great quote for it.
That's
so
right,
he's just a really kind
I did see
guy
that.
who supports people trying to do creative things.
Oh, that's cool. So you guys doing a horror movie together? I like that. I think that's great for him because I know he's done all kinds of different projects, but that seems like, and he's a champion of the geek, of the nerd, and that seems like a great fit for that kind of a person.
Yeah, he can kind of do it all. I mean, he can do voiceover stuff. He does stand up. So, like I said, he's just been really kind, and not only kind to me, but kind of the 5 Second Film crew. I mean, he really promoted them, and they helped them out to get ready for this movie. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So are you?
Yeah, I think.
Do you have a significant role in it?
Yeah, I play one of the bros, one of the fraternity bros. So it's an ensemble cast, but I have a very interesting, crazy role, which will be fun.
That's cool. So, what about writing? Is it something you want to do more of? I know a book is a lot of work.
It was more work than I ever could have expected, but it was very rewarding, and I've already started kind of writing articles. I wrote an article for Bookish.com. I'm writing one from the Huffington Post blog entry that I'm going to be doing. So I definitely want to continue to write.
Yeah. And
I'd love to do another book at some point as well. And just really, keep working creatively. Anything that I think I'm inspired by, I'd love to keep doing. So, but yeah, writing a book, I think I'm going to need a little break.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But tackle writing a book, it'll practically kill you if you're obsessed with it and you're really into it. It just totally consumes you.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't see really many friends for several years while I was involved. I turned into a hermit.
Yeah, it's been several years of writing just to get to this point where the book is released, and you'll have months of touring for it. So, yeah, I can't imagine it's an easy thing to take on. But I mean, I've written my share of stuff, but in bits and pieces whenever I can, to just sit and focus on a book. That's so much work. Are you looking to do more nonfiction, or do you want to get into the fiction realm?
I'd love to do something fiction. I think it would be a really fun challenge to tell a story. And I wrote a screenplay when I was 12 years old, a Home Alone sequel of all things, and I really enjoyed that. And I think that'd be a really fun challenge.
Huh. So how much stuff do you want to do behind the camera? Just writing, or do you want to direct or produce?
So I'd love to make some movies acting and see where that takes me.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed creating that trailer. I thought it took a long time, believe it or not. I worked with Michael Russo, one of the co-creators of 5 Second Film, and just crafting that trailer was a lot of fun, and I could see why people like to get into directing and stuff. So, yeah, I'm just going to try to do as many things that I'm excited about and kind of see where that goes.
Yeah.
And see where, hopefully if I survive this book event.
Yeah, well, you do sound like you're just worn out. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like normally at this point, I'm like, yay, ready to go. And I'm like,
yeah,
got a week to go. I was like, hopefully I just get there. But
I know we're posting this on the day of the release, but we're a week before it, recording it, and I know you got to be dying right now.
What's that?
We're a week until the release when we record this, but I know you have to be just dying about now.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, is it gonna...
But yeah, hopefully I'll find my second one and get through it and have fun with the whole thing. Because you're not having fun with the whole thing.
Yeah.
What's really the point?
So what's
But I think so far people that have read review copies and advanced copies have really responded to it and enjoyed it. And that's the whole reason I did it. So that's a really good start.
Was there something in the book that you were a little nervous about talking about?
Yeah, I think I just tried to approach it very honestly and tell the story as truthfully and respectfully as I could. And I think if I was going to do this, there was no point to shrink away from things that, that I wasn't proud of or things that I felt like didn't go well. And so I just tried to be as forthright and honest as possible.
So what, I know I asked you this 3 years ago when we talked, but what does your brother think now?
He's just, almost at every turn, he's just still amazed at what it's turned into. He just, I think when it was on Jimmy Kimmel a few years ago or ABC World News, his mouth dropped. He's just like, this is a joke. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, he didn't make it to the premiere, but he's going to make it to the book launch, so that'll be fun.
That's good. Yeah, I know it has to be bizarre. Just looking at you guys sitting in a room watching it and laughing at it to now. So
yeah, right. Just goes to show you, anything's possible. Truth is stranger than fiction. That's what I've learned.
That is true. So do you ever hope to make another movie with Tommy?
I think that this was kind of the home run with Tommy, and I'm happy to leave Hank Aaron's record alone and stand at one.
Yeah. No Michael Jordan coming back to the Wizards, none of that kind of stuff.
No, I think it's more Barry Sanders. He just took off and never looked back.
Yeah. No reason to sully the record.
Yeah, I'm going to take Barry Sanders' role and just quit while you're ahead or behind or,
yeah.
or rock bottom, whichever way you want to look at it.
Somewhere in there.
Or maybe underneath the rocks. I don't know.
You'll show up in a commercial one day on the cover of Madden, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, see?
Yeah, he's in that. He's driving the bus in the commercial with the rest of the Lions on the bus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
That could be you someday. Tommy will be back there, and who knows?
Yeah, right?
Happen. The cast of The Room 2. Who knows?
Yeah, I can imagine The Room 2 would be great.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. Tommy could figure it out, I'm sure, but I don't know. Have to be another story or something, like if these walls could talk, something like that.
Yeah, I always thought Johnny never died, but
yeah.
Johnny always lives on because he's just such a perfect person,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's got to get that. He's got to get that promotion.
Yeah, he does. Oh hell, I don't know. So I got.
Yeah, he'll come up with something.
So I got to ask one thing that I thought was weird first time I saw the movie. I don't know why people focused on this, and now I get it in my personal life. People focused on your beard in the movie for some damn reason. I have, since we met, grown a beard, a pretty bushy, full beard, and I don't know why it's such a weird point of focus for people. Is it like something people ask you about? Because during the whole movie...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only reason I had it, I was at that point where every guy kind of goes through it, where you're just so excited that you can actually grow a beard, so you just let it grow, and our girlfriends are like, I don't know why you're doing that, you it grows.
Yeah.
But we do it anyway, and I just was randomly at that point, and I was like, okay, if I'm going to be in this movie, and I have a beard, it's a perfect opportunity to fake that I'm not who I really am. I have a beard, so it's like I have a beard, so I don't really look like myself. So that was a perfect option. And then
maybe they won't recognize me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then about halfway through, for some very strange reason, which I talk about in the book, it's a long story, I ended up having to shave it off, which I wasn't terribly thrilled about, but it definitely added to the plot holes that are in the movie. So I guess if I contributed to people's laughter with that fear, then I guess I'm all right with it.
Well, that's true. It's I think it's around the time you guys show up with the tuxedos. You're clean shaven, right? Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. There's like a scene dedicated to it, but there's no reason for it.
Yeah. Well, we figure you're going to a wedding or an event, so maybe you shaved. I don't know.
It's subtext that you have to dig deeper in to find the meaning of.
So you did.
I was paid to say that. It's not true.
So you didn't talk about it in the book, the reason for the disappearance of the beard?
I do talk all about it in the book.
Oh, okay.
And it's as dysfunctional as you would expect.
Well, yeah, see, that's good. That's a mystery I think a lot of people had questions about. I mean, among many others, but like the guy that shows up at the party and suddenly is giving advice and nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, he did a great interview for the behind-the-scenes documentary that I did, talking about that.
Yeah.
It's going to be
That's funny.
Really funny.
I just remember somebody in the theater screaming, "Who the hell are you?" And everybody busted up. So many weird things. But, oh man. Well, I'm glad we got to talk. I'm really excited about the book. I'm looking forward to it. And do you think you'd be coming out at any time to Phoenix to do a book signing?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm hoping definitely to come out there. It was a great crowd and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Great town. So I'm definitely going to make it out that way, hopefully soon. My website, thedisasterartistbook.com, has all book tour events and everything that's coming. So I'm going to work on that and hopefully get out there soon.
Yeah, there's a great little independent bookstore. Patton Oswalt actually did a signing there once, and it just everybody seems like I'll send you the link to the place so you can see it. But I'd love to see you come out here, and maybe we can talk when you do. Love to get when I get my book.
Maybe this time we can have that one of those cool book posters that I have attack me from behind, like in the interview.
That's right, I forgot about that. Yeah,
I had some really, really incredible posters done by an amazing artist named Alex Pardee. He did some really great takes on the phenomenon along with my book, and so I'm going to have those on the tour as well.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the poster because I'll post it. But if anybody wants to watch the interview, it's at youtube.com/cinemaheadcheese. But we go into this room upstairs in this theater, and the theater is now it's now shut down. I mean, the place was a mess. The air conditioning would work sometimes, sometimes not. There was a storm that busted the windows, that blew glass all inside of the escalator. And it would have cost thousands of dollars to fix. So they had it kind of walled off with this weird corrugated metal. So there was no escalator. All the first floor theaters were defunct. I mean, nobody could do anything in there. And we had to do the interviews in this room that was upstairs by the projection area. And when we got up there with Tommy first, and there were a couple of posters up on the wall, and he's like, "No, we can't have this. We got to get these down and put a room poster up." And I think there might have been a room poster up there, but we had to get rid of the other posters and kind of center the room poster. And it was funny because we were just shooting a little video for YouTube, and he was directing and checking out the camera and doing everything. It was funny. I mean, it was almost a takeover. And then by the time you got up there, the poster just started curling off the wall. It was just up there with masking tape.
Oh God!
Yeah.
What next?
Yeah, I mean, it was perfect between what we were doing and, what you were there for. It just seemed to fit the whole situation. Yeah. So, but, God, I forgot all about that poster until you mentioned it, because I haven't gone back to watch that. in quite a long time, so that's pretty funny. I'll have to link that with this podcast so everybody can see it as well. But yeah, it was definitely a fun time. Definitely a great experience. So I'm glad you got to document that for the rest of us to kind of go on the journey with you.
Yeah, it's been a trip, and I just appreciate all the support from the fans and everyone through this whole experience. I wrote the book for them, and I just hope that they enjoy it as much as hard as I worked on it.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate you talking to me, and anything we can do to help support the book, I'll gladly do that for you. And so, keep us posted, and we'll keep the listeners posted. And I'm hoping you get out here to Phoenix. It'd be great to come see you and hang out a little bit, and maybe even document the book signing for you. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm looking forward to coming out there.
All right. Well, good luck with the book tour. Get a little bit of rest before you start heading out there. And,
I need a little quick mini vacation here before it all starts. But
yeah, I think so.
I'll be ready for it.
All right. Well, thank you, Greg. I do appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks, Kevin.
Subscribe and download back episodes of Cinema Head Cheese the podcast, and read all of our movie reviews and news at cinemaheadcheese.com. Email us at cinemaheadcheese@yahoo.com. Search Cinema Head Cheese on Facebook and tweet us at CINHeadCheese. And for more podcasts, books, comics, blogs, and videos, head to abnormalentertainment.com.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.